Dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our presentation. Today we will show you the data integration process of two movie rating systems, Total Leisure Power and What's a Movie, as well as an online movie rental company, Best Movie Rental Ever. Mr. Goodwin, the Chief Executive Officer of Total Leisure Power, was the one who came up with this amazing idea. He is determined that interorganizational cooperation will give his company a strong competitive advantage and will strengthen its position on the existing market. He already has two potential cooperation partners in mind. The first one is What's a Movie Ltd. It is an online rating platform which provides its users with basic information about a wide range of movies and soap operas, as well as its participants from both sides of the screen: actors, writers, directors, and composers. Currently, its database consists of over 15,000 records and is constantly growing. The second cooperation partner is the Best Movie Rental Ever company. It is an online movie rental shop which has over 3,000 movies in stock. More than 60% of all the movies being discussed on the Total Leisure Power and What's a Movie platforms are already available for rent. Mr. Goodwin assigned the business analysts of the companies Mr. Moser, Mrs. Integrator, and Mr. Ripple as responsible for the integration of companies' local databases. The data integration process begins with mapping identical entities of the company's databases to each other. Total Leisure Power and What's a Movie companies provide similar services, and their database structures reveal a high level of equivalence. That's why they will be first mapped to each other. Both databases contain a movie and a genre entity. The entity pairs review and user, as well as staff and movie participant, have different names but are identical in their meaning. Thus, all of them are used as mapping points for the database integration. The awesome integrated movie community group also wants to make use of its synergies and to adopt a sophisticated classification approach of movie ratings from Total Leisure Power. A movie can be reviewed either by a private registered user or by a website. This differentiation is visible to all registered users and helps to select the most reliable reviews from the most trustful reviewers. What's a Movie also has a meaningful point to add. They deploy separate tables for different specification of one participant and are able to store additional characteristics for each single person. This approach will bring advantages in case awesome integrated movie community group would like to provide its customers with extended movie-related information. In a similar way, the source database of Best Movie Rental Ever is mapped to the integrated database of Total Leisure Power and What's a Movie. The first mapping is done over the movie and user tables. Later, all the remaining tables of Best Movie Rental Ever company are added. They represent the unique concept of an online movie rental service offerings.
After the conceptual phase is finished, the actual implementation may begin. One of such is the movie entity. Hence, we want to show you the transformation process from the source database of What the Movie into the mediated schema by means of the movie table, which is the central point of integration. It is of high interest because it includes three main issues the project team had to cope with during the data integration process. The first step is the adaptation of the source table structure to the target structure. Comparing the source table structure with the target one, the storage of a release date is the only point that differs. What the Movie used to save it as one single date using the equally named MySQL date type. The awesome integrated movie company, however, decided to separate release day, month, and year. Although TLP only stores the release year of a movie, the exact release date information from What the Movie should not be lost. Therefore, the first step of the transformation after importing the source and the target movie table is to split up the date using a calculator element in Pentaho. The second step is to use a string matching algorithm in order to avoid duplicates in the target database. In this context, simply checking if a movie that should be added already exists in the mediated schema, for example by searching for the exact same movie title, might not be enough. It is possible that a movie title is not definite. For example, it might be expressed in different ways, or there might be minor spelling errors. Pentaho provides a so-called fuzzy match element to tackle this problem. Both the original and the adjusted source movie table serve as an input for the fuzzy match. The fuzzy match is set up as follows. The original movie table is used for the lookup on the title. The title from the target database will be compared to the title from the source database, applying the string matching algorithm. Now, the measure value and the match fields in the output indicate if string matches are detected. The measure value expresses the degree of similarity between the two compared strings. The degree is highly dependent on the used algorithm, and different entities might require different algorithms. The match field shows which movie title is adopted for the respective record in the mediated movie table. The next step is to join the sorted output of the fuzzy match element and the source movie table. This is done to keep not only the entries for which a match was found, but also add completely new movies that do not yet exist in the target database. For this purpose, we introduce the filter element. We use the filter to separate movie titles that only need to be updated from movie records that need to be inserted in the target database. A match string or a title having a value that is not null indicates that this movie only needs to be updated. If both the title and the match string contain a null value, a new movie entry is created. When we integrate a new entity into the target database, their new primary key might differ from the one that identified them in the source table. This becomes a problem when the entity is referenced as a foreign key, because the new key does not match the old one. Therefore, we create special lookup tables in the mediated schema that store the relation between the old and the new primary keys and are used throughout the mapping process. In case an entry already exists in the database, we just need to update the reference in the table. Otherwise, we create a whole new lookup entry. We can now use the stored lookup entries to create foreign key references in other tables. First, we use a database value lookup on the movie lookup table so that we can replace the movie IDs in the employment table with the new movie IDs. The same is done for the movie participant IDs. The output table of the step is joined with the already existing contribution entries from the target database. Finally, all contribution entries for which movie participant ID and movie ID have not been updated are filtered out. Thus, only new contributions are inserted into the respective table of the mediated schema. We want to conclude our explanations on the Pentaho transformation process by looking at the whole job TLP has to run through in order to integrate their source schema into the mediated schema. Basically, each transformation stands for one certain table to transfer. Finally, we want to show you a table from the resulting integrated database. To do so, we prepared the following sample query that retrieves the movie ID, the title, and the release year for all movies in the integrated database. As we can see, the movies from the Best Movie Rental Ever database do not contain the release year. Let us briefly summarize the key challenges we had to overcome in this integration scenario. It is important that you do not lose information in your mediated schema. In order to avoid duplicates, you can use string matching algorithms. However, you might need to carefully select the right algorithm for different entities. Last but not least, you have to keep references to old primary keys in order to look them up for foreign key references. We can now successfully close our data integration process, which gives awesome integrated movie community an exceptional position on the market and enables them to stay ahead of their competitors for the next years.